Hello everybody, I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Legacy Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime. This figure was purchased at my local Target. I think this is the first figure I have purchased locally in a store in 3 years. Maybe. The figure is modeled after the original Laser Optimus Prime, and it's molded very nicely. The figure is not exactly Laser Optimus Prime, but it's close enough, and it's a lot smaller. Unfortunately, I don't have that original figure here to show you, but overall, it's quite striking. Now, we will be getting a Scourge, or aka Black Convoy repaint, at some point down the line, but right now, this is all we got. The cab comes with the trailer. The trailer pops off very easily and then can pop onto any other Optimus Prime. There's plenty of room there, though there isn't enough room and clearance for the figure or the other figures to turn. So that is the Earthrise mold. Let's look at the Siege mold. And wouldn't you notice, there's no peg back there. So, I mean, can still technically kind of work. Continuing with the trailer, it is a very nicely molded piece of kit, and it is much more functional than the original Earthrise Optimus Prime trailer. It's roughly the same length. Actually, no, this is a little shorter. I can't give you specifics because I can't find my Earthrise Prime. I think I accidentally threw it out. It does have a little gimmick here underneath where it can flip out this nice little stand, so it doesn't just do the typical Prime trailer thing of just flops there. The trailer itself can transform. To start off with, come to the front of the trailer and unhook the very front like so. Then grab the sides of the trailer and open them up. That is where the weapon storage is on this figure. Stand the trailer up in the back, flip down this little ramp, and then you can do a bunch of different things with the top of the trailer. First off, fold the entire top down, flip the front of the trailer around, and you can extend this little claw, and then it got laser guns at the top. I like the fact that this is a usable base. Sort of. It doesn't peg into anything, and smaller, tinier figures can fit on this little ramp, but unfortunately, that's all it can do. There are no other guns, there are no other accessories, there's nothing else that you could do except take a weaponizer, rip them apart, and attempt to get some kind of play functionality. It doesn't really work that well, but I think we just need more cogs. Other than the trailer, it comes with 2 accessories. This nice clear blue sword that has a weaponizer peg right there at the top, though doesn't really peg in all that well. It works. I like it. I think it's a good sword. It's a little bent, though. And it also comes with this giant pizza steel that turns into an axe. Nice. Oh, and then you can take the sword and snap it into the pizza steel. And you have a pizza sword. Sure, we'll go with that, pizza sword. Now on to the cab and the main figure. Overall, I think the aesthetic works well. I would have liked to have seen just a little bit of more detailing on the flames for an outline. I do appreciate the yellow around the headlights. And overall, it works. I think it looks good as a truck. Yeah. Now, the only oddity I have with the truck mode is that from the robot hips, which are here, to the back of the vehicle mode, it's exactly the same as the Earthrise mode. I mean, the only difference is this piece that would be the shins have filler. I mean, the feet, same mold. Everything else is exactly the same, except for the little shin components. I'm fine with that. I really am. Though I'm a little bit miffed that it's a Leader class price point when we have a Voyager class figure, but Hasbro seems to be doing that now. In terms of scale, here's how it scales to the 2 Prime molds that have preceded it. We've got Siege and we've got Earthrise, and yeah, I think it works. I really do. We've got the cab over and then the cab back molds. Yeah, I like it. I really do compared to these two guys. In terms of paint, the paint is good. Yellow at the front, silver with the grille and the bumper. We've got the red flames, which work well. I really like the matte black they have here. It's not true black. It's not black convoy black. It's a much lighter black. It's more of a charcoal, really. It works well for the figure. I like it a lot. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here is Cog's gun. This is pure black, though it is glossy. And up against the Prime, it's not showing up on the viewfinder, but I can tell you in person, these are very different colors. The cab's transformation into robot mode starts with coming to the fuel tanks and pushing them in and snapping them in place. They're going to do that anyway. Just be forewarned. Then come to the little steps that are just underneath the sides and unpeg them on both sides. That will then allow you to flip the legs down and flip out the feet. And what we end up with is Truck Gerwalk. Now, for the rest of the transformation, come to the back and unpeg these arm sections. These will be the forearms. Next, come to the top of the truck and grab the entire cab and flip it up like so. One word of warning, the entire cab section with the front windscreen and the side windows, all clear plastic. I'm okay with that. Next, come to the hips, grab the entire hip section and fold them down like that. Next, come to the back of the figure and take the forearms and fold them out and just bring them forward enough, whoops, so that this little tab right here is inside the armpit. And then you can bring this section with the stairs all the way up. And then you can bring the arm all the way around and snap it into place and replace the arms on the mushroom pegs. So again, on the other side, bring the shoulder out until the tab is in underneath the armpit. Fold up the little stair section, push it in, bring the shoulder all the way in. It will snap into place, and then turn the arm around or put it back on the mushroom peg. Bring the chest section down and snap it into place. Then you can take these shoulders and bring them down and snap them into place. Now with the front of the vehicle mode opened up, push on this blue section and it will snap down, and then this silver section will flip around, and then that blue section will flip back around, and more often than not, it will pop out of place before you snap it in. That's fine, it goes right back into place. This is the chest of Optimus Prime, more on that in a little bit. Next, come to the back of the figure and take the forearms and fold them out, and just bring them forward enough, whoops, so that this little tab right here is inside the armpit. And then you can bring this section with the stairs all the way up. And then you can bring the arm all the way around and snap it into place and replace the arms on the mushroom pegs. So again, on the other side, bring the shoulder out until the tab is in underneath the armpit. Fold up the little stair section, push it in, bring the shoulder all the way in, it will snap into place, and then turn the arm around or put it back on the mushroom peg. Bring the chest section down and snap it into place. Then you can take these shoulders and bring them down and snap them into place. Forearms open up, hands flip out, and then do that on both sides. And lastly, we'll go for the head. Come to the back of the figure, flip Optimus's head up, snap it into place. Last steps of the transformation are turn the entire torso around 180 degrees and fold those sections on his shoulders down. The robot mode we end up with is very nice looking. It is a perfect rendition, or almost perfect rendition, of Laser Optimus Prime from the 90s. The overall aesthetic of the figure is incredibly good. It feels good in the hand. It looks good. And that transformation is complicated and tough the first time you do it, but once you realize what you're doing, it makes a lot of sense and is a ton of fun to do. Head sculpt is very good, but the eyes are sunk into the head so deep, you can't really see them. Even if I turn my lights all the way up, you still can't really see them at all. And no, there's no light piping. Even with a flashlight right up his face, they're very hard to see, and I'm not even convinced that there are eyes in my figure, because they're so dark. But yes, there are plastic, though I think it's actually clear and not blue. Yes, I realize I'm stabbing him in the eyes with his own sword. Rude, I know. With his accessories, Laser Prime looks pretty good. However, I'm finding it odd because the sword, even though it looks good, is translucent plastic, so in the wrong light, it doesn't look like he's holding anything. And then the axe, while I do like it, just feels weird. It just doesn't really work for me specifically. And then when you combine the sword with the axe, you get, I don't know, it looks like something a Ninja Turtle would wield, not Optimus Prime. And then you have lack of head articulation, and that really does make for some very limited posing. I just really don't like the fact that his head just does not want to turn without coming off. It's so weird. And it's because his faceplate is down just too far and hits his collar and then just leverages off. In bot mode, he's got some gimmicks. He's got these shoulder pylons that open up and have missile launchers inside them. I really do like that, though it is a little bit odd. No, actually it isn't, because the Black Convoy did that in the show, and I always thought he should have missile launchers on the original figure, and he didn't. And then Prime's chest does open up, and we've got yet another Matrix of Leadership. And this one's fine. It's colored with no issue. I'm not going to bother popping it out, because... Now, let's see. How many figures have a Matrix of Leadership? Let's see. There are 2 Galvatrons. There's Earthrise Prime. There's Kingdom Prime. I don't remember. Does Siege Prime have one? I'll have to check when I transform him. And then there's Evil Prime. And and the Rodimus Prime and Hot Rod all have different Matrix of Leaderships. And I think they're all different colors. Nice consistency there, Hasbro. In terms of size, the figure is just a smidge bigger than the previous release of Optimus Prime molds. Earthrise on the left, Siege on the right. Though it does look like it's not that much bigger. Maybe like a few millimeters. And then things get a little weirder when you start comparing it to the other figures in the Legacy line. Blaster and Bulkhead are roughly exactly the same height. And especially Blaster, who is maybe like 2 millimeters shorter at the most, not including the giant shoulder pads, obviously. Actually, here, let me get a kickback out here and flip those wings down so we have a better idea of what the heck we're looking at. And yes, I just did drop one of his little pokey things. Overall, I like Legacy Laser Optimus Prime quite a bit. It's a fun toy. It's got a very unique transformation, especially compared to the other 2 Optimus Primes. Hello! And it's definitely worth the asking price. And the fact that I bought it in a store makes me very happy. Like, ridiculously happy that I was able to get it in a physical store. Remember those? Man, I miss Toys R Us. I really do. Overall, the Legacy line has been pretty good. I'm enjoying it thus far. The only figure that I'm not a huge fan of is RC. If you like RC, if you're happy with RC, great. I'm super happy for you. It's the one figure so far that I personally don't like. But I like all the others, and I really like this new Optimus Prime. I'm glad that we're getting a Prime in each, series, but they're all unique enough that they're all really good. Alright folks, this has been my quick video review of Laser Optimus Prime from the Legacy line, Leader Class. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the figure down in the comments. I have been Baltmatrix. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.